very stock market. Oh, man. Woo!
Did you guys miss that? Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We got yet another live stream. I have an hour and 8 minutes where you super chat me $10 and I cover whatever stock, ETF, or crypto you want me to analyze. Yes, I am a certified public accountant. No, I have never worked on Wall Street. Can I predict the future? Absolutely not. But if you want insight into the inner workings of your company from a financial perspective, oh, yes, I'm very good at financial statements. It's my craft, and I'm a master of my craft. I'm an expert. I'm a king. I'm a freaking genius. So we're going to hang out till more people get in here, but at any time, as soon as I get my first super chat, we're going to dive right into it. And I'm getting off at exactly 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I am going to eat dinner and then I may be going to meet some cheeks. We'll see. You never know. Half the time they freaking cancel. I mean, basically what the cheeks do, and you know what? I've been guilty of it too. Okay. What the cheeks do is they get like 1,000 likes on their dating app. And they choose the top 10 guys, the hot guys. And then they text them, and then they like triple book dates, right? Because they know one or two of the guys are going to flake. So they triple book a date at the same time. And then at the last minute, when they confirm that the hottest guy is still going to meet them, then they just cancel on the other two. So that's kind of how modern dating works. So if you think you're going to match a girl, and then you get her number, and then you think you're actually going to meet her, you could plan a time, a date, and at the last possible minute, you could get a check. You could get a text, stating that, oh, I'm sick. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, my dog expired. Oh. Now, Alan Carlson notes that I have another live stream scheduled. Yes, I'm going to have to move it again. Look, if it's a choice between doing a live stream, crapping on dividend investors, and potentially securing cheeks, I'm going to go with the cheeks, okay? And then once I lock the cheeks down and I get consistent cheeks, then I can focus on other things like live streams, okay? But I recently lost my recent cheeks, okay? I had some cheeks, consistent cheeks. And then we had a little bit of a falling out. So now I'm cheekless. I'm living the cheek-free life right now. So I need to replenish my my cheek supply. Oh man. Oh, we got $14.88. Oh, that's funny. C&Q, my listen queue. C&Q, my listen queue. Canadian stock, by the way, but it is dual listed on the TSX and New York Stock Exchange. Hope this converts to at least 10 USD after the exchange rate. Oh, yeah? Let's see what you actually gave me, good sir. If this is $9.99, you're cooked. 14.88 Canadian dollars in USD. $10.67. You're lucky, good sir. You are very lucky. I appreciate the super chat. All right, let's go ahead and dive into C&Q. C&Q, my central. All right, let me pull up stock analysis. I should have had this ready. I know I'm a bad YouTuber. Canadian Natural Resources Limited. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so we got Canadian Natural Resources Limited. Is there a website? I'll pull it up and we'll look at it in a little bit. So what does this company do? It engages in the acquisition, exploration, development, production, marketing, and sale of crude oil, natural gas, and natural gas liquids in Western Canada, the UK, and offshore Africa. They offer light and medium crude oil, primarily heavy crude oil, Pelican Lake heavy crude, and synthetic crude oil. Okay, its midstream assets include 2 crude oil pipelines and a 50% working interest in an 84 megawatt. Okay, so they're in the oil business. All right, let's go back. Look at the stock performance. So over the past year, it's down 3%, but it has a dividend, so your total returns are obviously higher than that. What's the total return, huh? Over the past 5 years, it's up 313%. And over the past lifetime since it's been listed, it's up 1,798%. If you include dividends, it's probably a lot higher. Let's look at their financials. So their market cap is $68 billion on revenue of $27 billion and net income of $6 billion. So they're very profitable. They got a forward PE of 13 and a PE ratio of 11. How does this compare to VDE? VDE is the Vanguard Energy ETF. So this is like more of like a total market energy specific ETF. So this stock has outperformed VDE, and it's got a higher dividend yield. Let's go. What the hell was the company called again? C&Q. All right, let's look at the revenue. I mean, when it comes to oil stocks, in my opinion, before we even dive into it, in my opinion, the best way to play oil is to just buy an ETF, okay? Because with oil, you're just kind of gambling on supply and demand and oil price dynamics. Okay. If oil gets expensive, these companies are going to make a lot of money. If oil drops in value, or if OPEC floods the market or whatever, or a variety of different things could happen, the revenue is going to fall. So these companies' revenue and profits are all over the place because it's really based on the price of oil. So in my opinion, I think it's just best if you think oil, like when oil went negative, I even personally considered, I'm like, should I buy an oil ETF? Because I saw on the news that oil went negative, whatever that means. And I decided not to. And then VDE went up like 200%. I'm a genius. All right. So we see revenues all over the place. I suspect it tracks the price of oil. Let's look at margins. Okay, gross margins kind of all over the place based on oil prices. It's been consistently profitable every single quarter in the last 5 years. Dividend growth, they're growing the dividend pretty well at 11.91%. Earnings per share growth is pretty strong as well. Okay, are they doing buybacks? They're buying back stock. They got positive free cash flow. They're consistently profitable. It's a very solid company. Very solid company. Okay. But my contention is, if you're going to buy oil, just buy the ETF. Why do you have to buy an individual company? Let's see. So they have 100 and what happened? What do they do with their cash? Look at that. They had a pile of cash and now they're down to 102 million. What the heck did they do? Let's go look at the statement of cash flows. All right. Operating cash flow all over the place. It's oil. Capital expenditures, they're actually growing over time. Let's see. What the hell do they do with their cash? Are they just paying? Okay, so some cash went to buyback, some cash went to dividends. Let me look at the annual. I'm trying to figure out why their cash balance just plummeted. Capital expenditures are increased. Acquisitions. Okay. Duh. So they had a huge amount of cash on the balance sheet, but they made a massive acquisition. So they're growing, obviously, through acquisitions. I mean, it seems like a solid company. I really got nothing bad to say about it. My contention is, why invest in this when you could buy an ETF? All right, here's the website. Second quarter results. Change the law. An open letter to the prime minister. Oh, didn't they just elect a socialist or whatever in Canada? Oil's bad, but we power our entire economy on oil. Let's go look at the news. Quarterly dividend, voting results, normal course bid offer. All right, I guess we can go skim the letter to the prime minister, whatever that clown Carney's name is, whatever his job title is. 6 months have passed since the first Build Canada Now letter was sent to you, outlining an action plan to unlock Canada's world-class oil and natural gas resources to strengthen Canada's economic sovereignty. No, we can't do that. Gas is bad, bro. Okay, let's see. Thank you for leading the positive change in tone from the federal government in terms of the importance of economic development, including expanded investments in conventional energy. Oh, is that actually a positive sign? Let's see. However, Canada still lacks a clear, competitive, and durable fiscal and regulatory policies required to achieve the so-called grand bargain. That bargain being significant emissions reductions. You're not going to reduce emissions if you're expanding more oil. Either you have energy independence and sovereignty, or you don't. But the emissions, bro, nobody else cares about emissions except the West. You think China and India care about emissions? They don't give a crap. They're polluting like crazy. But the Earth, bro. Yeah, you're saving the Earth, and China's polluting it. And India, yeah. All right, so nothing negative to say about the company, but personally, I would rather just buy an oil ETF. All right, that was our first one. Let's see, what do we got here? Why So Bluetooth? Webtoon Entertainment. Disney just bought 2% of this company last month. The stock jumped. They are a digital comics platform. This will be an interesting one, okay? Webtoon Entertainment. Let's see. Webtoon. All right, USD. Let's see. Webtoon Entertainment. It operates a storytelling platform in the US, Korea, Japan, and internationally. Its platform allows a community of creators and users to discover and create, share new content. The platform offers stories primarily in two ways, including web comics, a graphical comic-like medium, and web novels, which are text-based stories. Oh, that's interesting. You know, I remember I had The Hobbit. I had The Hobbit in like a comic book format. It was awesome. Okay. So I'm not opposed to comics necessarily, especially if they're like the art was amazing. It was good stuff. I don't know what happened to it. It also provides hosting services for web comics through the web. All right. Let's see. Uh-oh, they losing money? Uh-oh. So the stock is spiking pretty precipitously because Disney bought a stake, but I wonder if that's just the only reason. Oh, this just got listed. Okay. Yeah, June 27, 2024. So it's got a $2.54 billion market cap off trailing revenue of $1.37 billion. Negative net income in the last 12 months of negative $100 million. No forward PE, so they're not even projecting profits into the future. Let's look at their cash flow and profits and revenue. So revenue is basically flat. So it grew from $310 million to $348 million over the past 2 years, excuse me. 2 years and change. So, I mean, decent revenue growth, but nothing like shocking or exceptional. So, like a slow, steady, decent revenue growth over time. Let's look at margins. Margins basically stayed the same, roughly in the mid-20s. Operating margin. They've only posted profits 3 out of the last 12 quarters. And they have a profit margin, a bottom line profit margin of basically negative. With I see a lot of write-downs. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe we can go look and find out. Mostly negative free cash flow or barely free cash flow positive. Let's look at their balance sheet. $549 million of cash. Total current liquid assets of $862 million. $339 million of short-term debts, of which $103 million is unearned revenue. That's cash received up front. So really no concerns there when it comes to a liquidity standpoint. Long-term assets, very heavy on the goodwill and intangible assets. Okay, goodwill's from acquisitions and other intangible assets that could be trademarks, patents, et cetera, et cetera. So very light on long-term assets, but they don't really have a lot of long-term debt either. They don't really have a lot of long-term debt. So I suspect these acquisitions probably came through equity issuance. So their balance sheet's pretty solid overall. Now, cumulatively, this business has lost $533 million. So far, they've just been burning money. You can always check to see how a business's assets came into being. Are they generating assets from profits and reinvesting and et cetera, or are they generating all of their assets from equity issuance? For this one, you can see that retained earnings is negative and it's been growing, which means they've just been incurring loss after loss after loss after loss. And they've only been able to capitalize their business via common stock issuance. Okay. So hopefully that changes over time, but you should know that. All right. Operating cash flow. I mean, they have a couple quarters of positive operating cash flow, but they've been a pretty decent amount of quarters of either negative or anemic operating cash flow. So if you have negative operating cash flow, you're not making positive cash from your business. Is that good? I would say no. And the only reason they had positive operating cash flow was because in the most recent quarter was unearned revenue. So it seems like they get like huge deposits up front from various vendors or various customers. And then they recognize the revenue over time. How has the unearned revenue account grown? Where's the balance sheet? Yeah, it's been growing a little bit. Okay, so unearned revenue is it's a liability, but really think about it as just future revenue. That's going to be recorded as it's earned. All right. Okay. Let's see. Not many really crazy acquisitions. Yeah, it's a very capital light business. Sale purchase of intangibles, where they've been buying like comic book rights. Probably. Let's see. Yeah, so balance sheet's pretty solid. No issues there. I mean, the income statement's okay. They're growing revenues steadily, slowly but steadily, but they're having trouble with profitability. And they've had cumulative losses over their lifetime. Let's go look at their website. Number one global story tech company. What is this anime nonsense? Whoa, Webtoon, bro! We inspire people all over the world with story-oriented entertainment services. Our brands, Webtoon, Live Manga, Ebook Japan, Wattpad. I think I've seen Webtoon. Maybe I'm crazy. 24 million creators, 155 million active monthly users. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not really familiar with like the whole manga Japanese art community, except for Pokemon. Web novel format, Webtoon production, monthly active users. Let's go look at I wonder if they have metrics for like paying users, et cetera, et cetera. Get earnings. Where's the earnings at? Quarterly results. See if we can just get like a summary real quick. Earnings release. Paid content. So they're making money from paid content, advertising, and IP adaptions. Okay, they have losses. We know that. Okay, they're projecting revenue growth of 9.4% to 12.2% for Q3 of 2025. That's pretty solid. Strategic delivery Disney collaboration. The company also announced in a separate press release that it's teamed up with Disney to bring iconic comics from Marvel, Star Wars. Oh my God! Well, they need to unwokeify Star Wars. All I hear is people complaining about woke Star Wars. Trying to see if they have any data about like paid users or whatever. or like disaggregated revenue. They don't. That's lame. Okay, I mean, this, hopefully they turn profitable. I mean, I'm not necessarily against this company. Maybe the Disney partnership plays out with Marvel and Star Wars. It's possible. But, I mean, just historically, they haven't done that well, to be perfectly honest. All right, let's see. Any more payers? Nothing yet. All right, we can do some member comments. I'm hanging out until 5 o'clock. All right, let's do member-only comments. Oil stocks, it's time to buy. If you want to buy oil, I would just say buy the freaking ETF. It's a cheap ETF. It's a decent ETF. Gil, Venmo him. I'm the genius who called Romania uranium to skyrocket. Dan Weston, did Dan Weston copy you? Not a bad point. I have 8 holdings in the energy sector that are geographically diversified. VT also has oil companies. Did you guys know that? Oil's been flashing for me for the same setup uranium had. Let's see. Well, if there's a crisis in the Middle East, I don't know. Maybe oil will go freaking bananas. The prices will shoot up. Mark Carney is a conflicted man. I don't know much about him. But C&Q survived Justin Castro. So I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. That's pretty funny. All right. Gil's loading oil. I thought the market was going to crash, bro. You should be in SQQQ. Cool. It's one of the sectors I'm still adding to amidst this bubble. Cool, me too. Check out VDE. It's a pretty decent ETF. Trump, UN nations should stop buying Russian oil. Anyway, thanks for the review. No problem, dog. Let's see. I'll start buying financials when their earnings catch up or they see a correction. Why you hating on my viewers, Gil? That's not nice. Anyhow, I'm glad I loaded up on C&Q in August because instead of buying up those creepy keychain dolls, are you talking about the Labubus? I wonder who's buying all those. Could it be women? No. Oh my God, it's popular, so I have to buy it. OMG, I'm popular too. I'm fitting in. Honey, I racked up the credit card. Can you work more to pay it off? And then 2 days later, why are you working so much? OMG. You don't love me. Clown world. Anything happens with Iran or Russia, those oil stocks will fly. Yep, I agree. I mean, something could happen with Iran. If any of y'all watched Professor Zhang or whatever his name is, he's predicting that the U.S. is going to do a ground invasion of Iran. Do you guys believe that? Personally, I don't think that's going to happen, but he's predicting it. But he's famous because he predicted the election of Donald Trump. So now he's saying that the U.S. is going to do a ground invasion of Iran, which would be an utter catastrophe for the United States of America. How did that go with the other countries? Iraq collapsed. Now Iran basically owns them. Afghanistan, we lost the freaking war after 20 years. 20 freaking years. I was there. I failed my country. Oh, we got another one. Here we go. Can you look at Boxable? Recent acquisition of publicly traded company? Recent acquisition of publicly... Okay, so it's a SPAC, right? Is that what you're trying to say there? All right, let's look at Coxable. I try to romanticize everything. Boxable. Box. Do you have a ticker symbol? Boxable. Let me Google it. Boxable investor relations. Boxable announces merger with FGMC. All right, let's see if we can find FGMC. FGMC. I mean, there might not be a lot of data on here. When did this start? February 11, 2025. Yeah, this probably is misleading. We should probably go look at the investor relation. Yeah, this is just, there's no data on it. All right, so they merged. They're publicly traded now. Let's see. Is there any financial data? Okay, Boxable, a leader in innovative housing solutions, went public. To date, Boxable has raised over $230 million from over 50,000 investors. I wonder if we can go to the SEC website and find financial reports. All right, let's see what products they offer, and then we'll go look at the numbers. Okay, what do we have here? The Casita. Oh, this is the tiny house company. Yeah, if you don't have kids, oh, yeah, I'm child-free. Perfect. This is the perfect house for, like, the new man. the childless, soy jack, soylent devouring new man. This is the perfect house for you, okay? I mean, I'm not against small houses, okay? I'm not against it. But I will say your children should have at least a room, even if they're bunking. I think it's good that your children have their own room. As a matter of fact, I'm in my daughter's room right now. But eventually when she's older, I'm going to have to move this out. All right, so they make little houses. They have the Casita. That's cute. Okay. What's the square footage? 361 square feet. It's tiny, but I mean, how many bedrooms? Yeah, one. Oh, you could have 2 bedrooms. Okay. Okay. I could see this. How much does this freaking cost? What is this? Check if you can build on your property. Oh, yeah, I'm going to type in my home address for you guys. All right. Let's see what other products. The baby box. $20,000. What is this? Built to RV standard, a compact living space on wheel. Okay, so they have little mobile homes. That's cute. 120 square feet, easily set up with one person. You're building your own house. You get your house in the mail and you build your house. I mean, it's an interesting concept. It's a very interesting. And people will buy this. People will buy this. If I was single and childless, well, I'm single, but if I was childless and I just wanted to be a hermit somewhere, possible. All right, what is this? The Sanctuary. What? This is like a shed. Oh, God. Look, you see kids? There's kids running around here. This is not real. You think I want to live next to people like this? Get out of here. Hear the girl next door getting her cheeks clapped while I lay there like an inkwell by myself. Yeah, interesting. All right, let's see if we can find some investor information. Let's see. We may have to go to the SEC website. Let's see. SEC.gov. Freudian slip there. Come on. This is how I found Meet Kevin. Wow. Stop looking at my company. Get out of here. All right. Coxable. Prospectus. Let's see if we can find something here. All right. I don't see any financial data. Let's try this one. Oh, here we go. I think we're on the money here. All right. Let's see if we can find Coxable's profit and loss. Good Lord. This thing is huge, and there's no freaking quick links. All right. So this is Boxable's balance sheet as of June 30th, 2025. Can you zoom? God damn it. What is wrong with this? All right, here we go. Oh. Where's the balance sheets? Where's the balance sheets? Let's go look at the income statement. This is more important in my, because the balance sheet's going to be fine. If they did a merger, they're capitalized, they're going to be fine. All right, let's look at the balance sheet. So it's small, but if I zoom in, it's going to go haywire. So you're just going to have to trust what I'm saying here. Their most recent revenues as of June 30th, 2025, they pulled in $402,000 of revenue. Okay. I know people that make more than that. Their cost of goods sold was $11,481 for a gross loss of $11,439. So they generated $402,000 of revenue and spent over almost $12 million on the homes. Now, the reason this is happening is because they probably have a bunch of property, plant, and equipment where they build the houses, but they're not building many houses. So they have to allocate those fixed costs to each individual home. So it's an economy of scale thing. So if you build one house, but you have a huge factory, all the costs of the factory, the absorption costs get absorbed into the inventory. So if you're making more inventory in the factory, that cost is spread out over more inventory and it's recorded when it's sold. So right now they're posting insane losses. So they're really going to have to scale up because they're basically not selling anything. 402,000. Last year they sold 709, or they generated 708,000 of revenue in the same quarter. So their revenue is actually going down. They're selling less homes now than they were before. And they're printing massive losses. They spent almost $8 million on selling or general and admin expenses, $21 million on sales and marketing, and almost $1.5 million on research and development. Look at this. They had an impairment loss last year of $12 million. Where do they just write down their houses? Oh my God. This is no. In 6 months, and yes, I know it's small, but I can't zoom in. In 6 months, they burned almost $34 million of cash in operations. This is insanely unprofitable, insanely speculative, and their sales are declining. Their sales are declining. This is not good. Okay, it's a novel, interesting concept, but, I would at least want to see like revenue going up massively. I mean, I get it. When a company first starts, you're going to have massive losses, but shouldn't you be growing your freaking revenue? This is awful. No. That's almost the definition of a freaking clown stock. All right. So interesting choice there. The USA intentionally drags on their wars. Yeah, but I don't think it's good for the nation to create global chaos and have U.S. soldiers lose their lives for what? Nothing. The amount of money we spent on those wars, because wars, the cost of the war isn't just the conflict itself. It's the cost of the freaking veterans afterwards. Because all those veterans are going to be drawing disability and pensions and the freaking, it's just a huge costs that are not just confined to the war. They're still paying for the Vietnam War with all the freaking sick veterans. The VA, the hospital system, we're paying a fortune for this stuff. For what? Trump is turning on Putin. Wonder what? Yeah, we'll see. Building an inverse strongman. Yeah, you should definitely buy Boxable Bro. It's probably going to go up in a vertical line. LOL. Looks like a great house for you. If I was a single childless dude, yes. Potentially, okay? But I'm not living in like Bugman community, communist community where my neighbors are attached to me. No, I don't want my freaking neighbors attached to me unless it's a bunch of hot single chicks, okay? But it probably won't be. It'll probably be rejects and communists. I get one of those tiny homes. The land will be, I'll get one for my kids. They can just live in the backyard. Maybe want to go get some poutine tonight. Product is cool. You went to the factory. Didn't me and Kevin go to that factory? I'm pretty sure he did. He's like, I'm going to expose Boxable. Wow. So he goes and he exposes them. And then I expose House Sack. I'm going to sue you. Wow. What a loser. What a coward. I just read the financial statements, Kevin. Was I speaking lies? He said I was speaking fraudulent lies. Fraudulent lies. I read the 10Q. Fraudulent lies. Ah! Looks like the type of house they build in an attempt to house the homeless. Yeah, maybe a city will give them some money, and then the house will be freaking destroyed. They should make a prison cities with these homes and send the homeless. I mean, that is a possibility. I mean, they'll just destroy it, but a lot of people are homeless because they have mental illness. I mean, you're never going to fully solve the homeless population or the homeless problem. There's always going to be mentally ill people that just collapse and lose their homes. It's just how it is, you know? And if a city wants to try to help them out, they can, but I think the properties are going to be destroyed. It's like Section 8 housing. It just gets freaking destroyed. Nobody wants it. Then they get forced into your freaking neighborhood. Then the crime goes up. Oh, what's going on? It's almost like the WEF's plan. Well, the WEF isn't really doing that well with revenue in that company. That company's revenue was a joke, and it's going down. The homeless epidemic is a serious, huge issue. Not even, it's on the West Coast. If you stay away from liberal cities, and there's some on the East Coast too. Like I went to Asheville, and there was just like, it was just crazy. There were homeless people freaking everywhere. There was like speakers blaring like communist speeches. It was crazy. This was like during the George Floyd riots. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm never coming to Asheville again. Crap hole. But yeah, there were homeless everywhere. I'm like, why don't you go under the bridge? Okay. I don't want to get robbed or see some dancing, you know. I don't want to say the word. Substance mind altered person dancing around. I wonder if they'll start offering a few cricket protein bars. Oh, you don't want to eat bugs, bro? Me, Kevin was at least trying to tackle the homeless. Oh, stop. He's a grifter. You think he'd be a good governor of California? Get out of here. He's a clown. Wow. Everybody buying my house hack. It's part of the government has to invest in house hack. He might have actually been a good governor. No, he's a clown. Yeah, the tents are really starting to take over in my city. It's gotten a lot. Yeah, it's bad, man. We don't have that here in my town. No freaking homeless here. I can walk down the streets with my children at night, and I don't fear a thing. I love this town. Oh, it's so bad. It's not diverse. Ah! Yeah, so awful. Endless funding of homelessness is a great business model. One of the many reasons I got to buy a home somewhere quieter, but come to my town, bro. Tism, stop taking Tylenol. I don't have the tism. I'm very in tune with people's emotions. I can read people very well. I'm very socially aware. I do well in public. I mean, I'm kind of an ingrate on the internet. I'm kind of a clown on the internet, but in person, I'm very socially attuned. I can communicate with most people, and I can read their emotions very well. I can tell when somebody likes me and when they don't. It's pretty obvious to me. I don't think I have the tism. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll go to some liberal pink-haired freaking psychologist, and they can diagnose me with 1,000 mental disorders because I don't worship the altar of communism. They don't really want you to read it, strongman. Of course they don't. That company's a disaster. But Daddy found it. That's why I'm a genius. SEC.gov. Type in the company's name. Yeah, homeless people have ruined a bunch of greats. California's a disaster. That reminds me, people were trying to prove Orange Man wrong. I mean, that was probably a meme. I don't think many people were doing that. If Orange Man says food is good for you, I think many liberals will suddenly lose weight, or they'll get on Ozempic. Get land, find a loophole, that it is free from any laws or not part of America. Send the homeless there, no questions asked. What happened to them? It's bigoted, bro. Fun fact, statistics show these homeless addicts have no chance of becoming a functioning member of... that is true. That is very true. Alligator Alcatraz. These people are so on mind-altering substances, they would just fall in the water and get eaten. Okay? I don't know if that's a good idea. Other countries delete you if you want to be. Well, that's true. But in America, we're very tolerant here. Okay, that's our values. We have lots of values, bro. You can do whatever you want in America, unless you're certain people. Ouch. Better start pumping videos this week, Bussy. Oh, I will. You missed a week. Dude, I was backed up on taxes, okay? The October 15th deadline is coming up. I was trying to get people done, okay? And I think I have more taxes coming up. I may potentially sign with another client, and if that's the case, I got to focus on that, okay? Taxes pays a lot of money. YouTube does not. If only people would give me $10 super chats for tax analysis or stock analysis, I could do more live streams. Oh, I couldn't have this channel without your support. I love when people do that. They're like, this channel couldn't be possible without your donations. It's like, that's not true. A YouTuber makes money from ads, all sorts of things, okay? And, I mean, donations are appreciated, but the YouTuber would still make videos, even if they didn't get a lot of super chats. For me, it's about marketing my business. And it's something to do, and it's a nice little side paycheck, okay? A couple $100 a month, get to market, shield my business. If I'm bored on the weekend, I can crap out YouTube videos. It's kind of a hobby. I like doing it. It's fun. I've met people. I've networked with people on the internet. I think it's a good deal. I like it. I like doing YouTube. It's entertaining. Remember when Strongman, Fabio, and Dan were panicking, thinking a war with China? It could. Trump was pushing buttons, man. Trump is good friends with China, clown. Oh, well, at least on the surface, he pretends like he's not. But I do believe a war with China is not a good thing. You don't want that, number one. And number two, I think we can work with them. Okay, we don't have to have this existential, apocalyptic hatred of them. Oh, they're going to communism. They're going to take over the world. They're not even communist. They're not communist. Okay? They LARP as communists. Oh, yeah, we're Lenin. We're Marxist-Leninists, bro. They're not communists. Come on. It's a state capitalist country. Let's be honest here. And they're not going to invade America. They can never invade America. Nobody can invade America. Okay, all the fear-mongering about China is nonsense. We can't invade them. They cannot invade us. Trust me. Bro! Yeah, you think the Chinese army can occupy a country of 340 million people armed to the teeth? I don't think they can. Russia and Iran are the enemies. Buying Boxable on the open tomorrow. I mean, the stock, look at Tesla. The stock could go up. House sack. Manufacturing mental illness is far more profitable than housing them. Well, yeah, that's what social media does. Society will be very chaotic forever unless we get a handle on social media because it puts you in silos and then it shows you, it feeds you what you want. And then you get stuck in these rabbit holes and these like endless loops and you start to perceive the world other than it actually is. Like I went on a date with this one chick, right? And I invited her to my town. Okay. So this town is known as the bad town. We're the people of non-color who are very bad and very bigoted, okay? And her friends told her, like, you can't go to that town. You could die. There are a bunch of MAGA psychos. You need to be careful. And she was legitimately freaked out. She parked in the parking lot of the bar, and she's like, can you walk in with me? She was legitimately scared. I'm like, woman, let's go. So we walk in. And she's looking around. She's like, oh my God, all these supremacists everywhere. And literally nothing happened. There are even like African-American people playing in the back. They were playing some game in the back. She's like, there's African-Americans here? I'm like, yeah. Like, what do you think we are here? Like, but like it's social media. They really think that there's certain parts of the country where if you're like liberal or leftist, they think if you go there that you're just going to get like shellacked. Okay. There are places in America where if you go, you'll get shellacked. And guess what? They're not towns like mine, okay? It's just clown stuff. It's all clownery. San Francisco is even worse. I've never been to San Fran. There's a ton of homeless in SLC, Salt Lake City. I've never been there. Moving to Detroit. Go right ahead. I thought something happened to you, clown. Next time you put a warning, don't just disappear. Me? Nothing happened to me. Why? You think anything could happen to me? I'm invincible. Okay? Nobody would ever harm me. I'm a very entertaining, loving person. I don't have any enemies. Okay? I just get busy. If I'm not posting, trust me, I'm busy. Tax season? Yeah. I'm focusing on taxes because people are paying me good money to do their taxes. And I'll do yours too. You can book a free consultation, actually. You can talk to me for free. And I give upfront quotes. So if I say, oh, your taxes are $500, guess what? Your taxes are $500. You don't get a surprise bill at the end. Now, if your taxes are more complicated, I'm probably going to charge you more the next year, but that's on me. It's weird when I see trading and investing channels begging for donations and say YouTube is how I provide for myself. It means don't listen. Well, yeah, most YouTubers, like full-time YouTubers, survive off YouTube, obviously. It's not their investments. Like, I'm not banking my life's income on YouTube. I'm focused on tax. China is closer to fascism than comedy. That is true. AKA a thorium big state with some private property rights. Exactly. Strawman, you should get a P.O. box so your devoted fans can say, I'm not doing that. No. Oh, my God. That would be a disaster. Woo! I have a physical media connection, books and movies. I can send you free stuff. You don't like it. Sell. Look, I'm sure some of you are well-intentioned, okay, but I am not giving an address for people to send me stuff. Okay, I'm not doing it. Liberalism is a mental disorder. What can I say? Paranoid delusion is a symptom. Straw man clap some African cheeks. Well, I'm working on it. Let's just say that. Okay. I never have before. Okay. It's always been women of non-color, but, well, unless she cancels, which is a possibility. I'm working on it. Okay. And one time I dated a girl that was quarter African-American and we made out. But then she ghosted me. Okay. Of course. Why not? She was very attractive, though. Very attractive. Nubian cheeks. Why people lost its way. We should go back to the good times. White American is ruined, brother. Depends where you live. I would love sending you stuff. Guys. Yeah, we're not doing this. Yeah, Strawman has some weirdo fans. Freaking cheeks are the next is Asian. There are no Asian women here. Okay, this area is black and white. That's all it is. I mean, of course there's some Asians here and a couple of Hispanics, but this area is literally just mostly black and white. That's all it is. So, like, if I was on the West Coast, obviously I probably would potentially have relations with an Asian girl, but they're not here. They don't exist. There's like 3 of them. Okay. That clown handshake messaged me and threatened me. That clown accused me of being these other alt accounts. They are wide. Who's wide? Chess area. I still think about. Oh, Gil, tell me more. I need to know the dirty details. Just keep it YouTube appropriate, okay? That's crazy, Gil. No, for me, it's only been women of non-color. My whole life. I went on a date with a Persian girl, too. She was half Persian. She was Iranian. She was like, I'm Persian. I said, oh, so you're Iranian. She's like, wow, how did you know that? I'm like, I know what Persian means, okay? And they are hotties. She was good looking, but she was a little bit older. And we didn't continue dating. She didn't like me. We weren't a good match. She was like very like prissy girl, like lipstick. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't care about that. I don't care. Double A cheeks. Well, this one is half. So does it really count? I don't know. We'll see. I can't wait to hear about Trump. I'm going to go on this date. She's going to talk about how Trump's bad And oh my God, do you support BLM? I can't wait for this conversation I'm going to have tonight. It's going to be wonderful. But she's very attractive. Very attractive, which is very rare, but she is. Why are we calling African Americans? Should we call Asian Americans too? Well, that is they do call them that. Asians have been called. I've heard Asians be called Asian Americans. Have you not heard that before? I've heard that all the time. But they never say European Americans. Have you noticed that? It's weird. Every other, group has their little whatever, but they never say European Americans. Why is that? We're not European, we're American. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with saying African American or Asian or Mexican American clown. Well, it depends who you're talking to. Basically, if they don't like you, no matter what words you say, they're going to say you're bigoted. I know how it works. Bunch of clowns. You ever read a book that describes people? I've seen other words too. LOL. Or if cops are making a report or a court. Yeah, I think, what do the cops use? It's either black or African American. It's not racist to say African American or Asian. It depends who you're talking to. Look, they can twist anything to be racist. Anything. Doesn't matter. They don't like you, or if you disagree with them, they're going to call you racist. That's how it always freaking works, okay? I know. I've been around them. Brazilian Americans. Brownish. Well, Brazil is like very diverse. It's like America, but it's like American diversity, but on it's more extreme. You got Europeans, you got Africans, you got the mestizos, the mixed, you got all that freaking crap in Brazil. I'm sure they all love each other and get along and live in the same communities. Let's see. What do you think about the Wink ETF? Well, Mr. Roberbez, you're going to have to give me in this video. If you want me to cover your ETF or your stock, you're going to have to give me a $10 super chat. And at exactly 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am shutting off this live stream and I'm going to have dinner. And then I'm going to meet my beautiful Nubian queen, unless she canceled. I'm going to check my phone later, at a bar. That's the plan for tonight. Okay. So you're going to have to give me a $10 super chat if you want me to look at the Wink ETF. I don't know what that is. Wink, dink, think. Can't say the other word. Moving to Poland. Oh, when I went to Latvia, so I went on a military assignment to Latvia. Everybody was tall, blonde hair, and blue eyes. Everybody. It was crazy. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Everybody's the same here. Oh, the horror. Oh. It's kind of a boring country, though, They have one big city, and that's it. Riga. It's basically Riga, and then it's like a bunch of like flat plains. So, but I mean, it's a nice country. It's a very nice country. Didn't seem like there was a lot of crime there. You could walk around at night. You felt safe. Didn't seem bad at all. Oh. I need diversity. Paradise. It was pretty nice. Okay. But I am not Latvian and I don't look Latvian. Okay. I look like a Guido. Latvia sounds fine if you're right next to Ukraine and the questionable economy. I mean, there's downsides to it, obviously, but it is very homogenous. Polish folks act the worst. The women might be hot when young. By the time they turn 40, the recessive genes kick in. I knew a Polish American. They could be good looking. They can be attractive. But after the war, if I could make remote income, maybe. You want to travel there, okay? Riga is a nice city, but I mean it's a nice city. I would check it out. But you need to go visit these places instead of just like, oh, it looks good, I'm gonna go. You got to tour around. But Riga's, it's nice. Okay, it's safe. It's nice. There's no like ethnic hate there. There is one issue with Riga, and that is Russians. Okay, there is a little bit of diversity in Latvia, And it's because they have like a Russian minority population. And funny enough, so when I was there on my military training, it was me and a female soldier and then like a female or male non-commissioned officer. So we decided to go out, like we were just going to walk around, right? And just hang out, maybe see the town a little bit, get the lay of the land, do some reconnaissance. And we sit down at this outdoor bar, and there's these intoxicated Russians. They were intoxicated, and they start talking to the girl in Russian, and we didn't know what they were saying. And eventually, you know, like one of the Russians was looking at me kind of weird, and I'm like, this could get really hairy. Okay, like, you know, we're not friends with Russia. I don't want to get into a brawl with a Russian while I'm on military orders. You know, that would not look good. But anyway, so the Russians eventually leave, right? And we look at the girl and we're like, what were they saying? And she was like, oh, they were basically making very inappropriate remarks to her. Okay. So these Russian little rats were being like totally inappropriate, but we had no idea because we didn't speak Russian and only she did. And she didn't say anything until they freaking left. But if we had found out, it might have ended bad. So maybe she made the right call. But yeah, dude, that could have been a problem. I was like, woo, it could have got hairy there. Could you imagine U.S. soldiers getting into a brawl? They would have ripped us out of that country in a heartbeat. They were like, I probably would have got fired from my job. I was a team leader, but luckily nothing happened. But I'm like, oh, some diversity. Oh, the Russians and the Latvians, they hate each other. Oh, diversity. Oh. World War III. I mean, I don't think it'd be that serious. I think I just would have got sent home. Freaking Russians, dude. Badushka. They were very intoxicated. Very intoxicated. Evac strongman. But besides that, Latvia was wonderful. I enjoyed it. It was pretty nice. It's cool, you know, and we got to where else did we go? We drove around. I think we went to Lithuania, and we basically toured around Latvia because the military was like, the U.S. government was like sending money to Latvia as kind of like, you know, soft power relations. So we went around Latvia and just toured to see what happened. So there was this one place we went, and the U.S. government literally bought a generator for a fire station. So we drive out to this fire station. I didn't really know like what the U.S. government had done for these people. These mother effers, these firemen, pulled out a generator and turned it on. And that was their presentation. So we roll up. We're like, hey, what's up? And they just have this generator. And they're like, they look at each other like, all right, let's turn on the generator. So oh, I thought we lost me for a second. That was hilarious. I was like, wow, thank you. Lithuanians hate the Polish. I think I'm back. I'll go on a party with Russians. I could not keep up with Russians, dude. Russians can drink. I can't do that anymore. I would die. I'd be extinct. All right, so decent day. Interesting super chat there. Good one there. And Boxable was by far the most clownish one. C&Q was solid. Webtoons, okay. Maybe they have potential with the Disney partnership. Boxable was a hot piece of garbage. A sickening, disgusting piece of crap. Boxable is a clown stock. It is the definition of a clown stock. All right, let's see. A couple more comments. We'll shut off at 5. Yeah, no regret. No, that was funny. Even though I was grifted out. Yeah, what is this thing with the sales tax? I hear they're doing sales tax now on super chats. These freaking grifters, dude. Grift. Government's a grift. So they can pay freaking government employees to do nonsense. Duh. All All right, we got 9 minutes left. Any last-minute super chats, you need to get in now. Keep doing these strong man. I'll keep paying. Yeah, I need to do I forgot the Venmo thing. Well, Venmo is probably better, to be honest. Because you don't pay the tax. Well, I mean, I guess technically you're supposed to, but you don't pay the tax, and I get the full amount. So the Venmo might be better. Lame. It was 1710 Canadian. Strongman, we have a call. My time or yours? Oh, yeah. It's on my calendar. I don't have my phone with me, but it's going to pop up on my calendar. So we will have a chit chat while I eat dinner. Yeah, the government grift is getting worse. Venmo is less anonymous. You think I'm going to leak your personal information? Okay, maybe I will. No. All right. Yeah, I completely forgot, but it's on my calendar, so it'll pop up and tell me. So, yes, the second I get off this live stream, check your phone, boy. I will call you. We'll have a little chit chat. Let's see. Venmo is less anonymous. Ryu. We got more people finally trickling in at the end of the live stream. You got 7 minutes. Let's go. Where's my money? Let's go. Pay up. I need money. I'm desperate. Okay? I'm an inkwell. I live in Ohio. I got fired from my job, and I refuse to get another job. So you must send me money. And if you don't, I will be very upset. Cool. All right, someone says I need to get on bald medicine. I'm not balding. Am I balding? Is that balding? Huh? Oh, wrong way. Is this balding? I mean, yeah, my hairline. See, right here, I got a little bit of maybe a little bit of recession. But it's like I still have a decent hairline, you know? It's all, like, look at that. There's no balding here. There's no balding. Where's the balding? Where am I balding? Huh? Oh, you like that spiky hair? Yeah. Uh-huh. I'll get some hair gel so I can have spikes. Maybe I'll have frosted tips too. What do you think about that? Blood can't survive without your super chat. My children are hungry. Give me money now. Shame on you. I have 2 young children and they need to eat and you're not giving me money. What is wrong with you? You're sick. You're disgusting. You make me want to puke with your hate. We're supposed to love each other and care about each other. We're all Americans. We're all in this together, and you won't give me money. Shame on you. Sick. Oh, this is so fun. What would I be without YouTube? I'd just be an accountant. Go to work, okay, and then I get off work and I go play my video games, or maybe I go shopping. Maybe I'll buy a boat, and go sail on the water. And, then I can maybe go to the bar, drink. Yeah. I'm an American, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Boring. This is fun. How can you not enjoy YouTube? Okay. I'm not the biggest channel. I don't get a ton of views. I get decent views, but I'm not like a big YouTuber. It's fun. Something to do. Okay? I'd rather do this than like go party. Those days are over. Okay? I'm focused. Laser focused on the direct deposit, on the money, on the check. Somebody says, compare your 21-year-old pictures to today, but your denial about the phases of balding is real. I mean, if I'm balding, okay. Okay? If it really gets bad, maybe I'll get, like, hair implants. Okay? If I was a bald cell, I would get hair implants. Because women like hair, and they like guys that are hot. If you're not married, if you're dating, you need to work out, and you need to have hair, and you need to be charismatic and fun. If you don't have hair, you're going to struggle. So attack the problem. The problem is you're a bald cell. Unbald yourself. Get hair implants. Get on your I'll probably just get it. I wouldn't get on I wouldn't get on the pill. I get on the hair implants. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to freaking put these substances in my body. Ugh. No, but I like this concept. You know, I think I'm going to have a daily battle rhythm next year, okay? So when I'm not doing taxes or part-time work, I'm going to do a morning market open live stream. I'm going to do the daily clown report where I cover all the clowns, see what they're up to, make fun of them, basically. Then I'm going to do a market close, and then I'm going to do a $10 Stoink ETF crypto analysis stream. So 4 streams a day. So that creates a schedule. Okay. It's like a work day. Because when you're self-employed, you got to have a schedule. You can't just like, oh, I don't feel like working today. I'm self-employed. You got to have a schedule. Okay. And in between those live streams, I'll do taxes or consultations or other things. And then maybe I'll take like Sunday off, or I'll just do like 1 stream on Sunday and then just relax the rest of the day. Something like that. I don't know. Except in tax season, I'm going to have to work a lot. Okay. When I was doing tax season, I was a busy boy. I worked full time. I had my kids over a lot. And I just did taxes every night till like 10 o'clock at night. Every freaking night. It's crazy. But you know what? It's going to pay off, I think. We'll see. All right, 2 minutes. You know, we might end 2 minutes early, and I'm going to do this phone call. And then I'm going to eat dinner, and then I'm going to go see my Nubian queen. I'll go check my phone, text, my dog is sick. And then I'll just chill out for the rest of the night. I'll definitely be buying more stock analysis ones, but got to spread them out since no, you give me all your money now, boy. What's wrong with you? Stop investing. Give me money. Anyway, like, subscribe. Consider joining us as a member to support the channel. Consider booking a free 30-minute tax consultation. And you guys have a wonderful, delicious, superstitious, cockalicious night. Cheers.